What is up, everybody? It's Ree or Rebel Inks Art here again with another character design challenge. Today's prompt was Floral Spirit, and I was really excited to go in and make a nice kind of pale, spooky flower ghost. Sorry, my throat just decided to do a weird thing. So when I got this prompt, I knew I wanted to make some kind of like spooky flower ghost. Kind of like an alternative form to death, where instead of it being like a spooky skeleton man, it's something nice and soft and comforting, ready to accept you and take you to the next life. And so that was kind of the idea that I headed into this with. I knew I wanted her to be very monotone, lots of pale colors, mostly just off-whites. And I wanted her to feel very motherly almost, and so that was just kind of what I was heading into this with when I was doing that rough sketch. And what was funny about this is by the end of it, it ended up being kind of closer to what I had wanted when I did the garden deity prompt forever ago. So it was really nice to see this kind of same idea, but I was able to actually pull it off because if you've watched all of my videos, or not all of my videos, but if you've watched that videos, you know that that was one of the drawings that I wasn't as happy with from the character design series. I knew I could have pushed the prompts farther, and it just kind of fell sort of flat. And so it was really nice to revisit a similar idea and be able to actually pull it off. So I had a lot of fun with this, and I especially had a lot of fun with all the different flowers that worked their way into this. I do a lot of copy and pasting, but then I transform them, and I make sure all the copying and pasting only happens in the sketch area so that I hand line all of the different flowers so they each end up a little different. And I feel like that gives it a lot of individuality. And I wanted to have some flowers cascading off of her skirt. Not a whole lot to talk about during this process. I just wanted to make sure I gave a lot of different types of flowers. I wanted them all to be very pale white flowers, but I tried to keep the shapes and shades and all that pretty different so that there would be a nice bit of contrast while still feeling very pale, very ghostly. And then we're heading into that line art. One thing that I'm really happy with is her hair. I'm really happy with how just like fluffy and soft it turned out. Drawing like long hair that isn't like curly or anything can be a pretty big challenge for me, so I was really happy that it turned out okay. I imagine her being kind of like the patron saint of funerals or young death, or something like that. She's there for people who left too soon or had stuff they still needed to get done as a kind of way of saying you did okay, things are gonna be alright, you're safe now sort of thing. I imagine she's just like a really soft, quiet, peaceful character. And heading in with all those flowers. I spend a lot of time on these flowers. The design is kind of minimalist, save for all the flowers on our dress, but I think I like it that way because it draws a lot of the focus to just how serene and slightly spooky everything is. Need to figure out something to talk about while I'm lining all these flowers. This is gonna go on for a while. I don't know, I guess I can brainstorm some ideas for her character. I feel like she is like the child of life and death, because she's got so much of both going on with her. It would make sense for her to be kind of the product of both. And the reason I went with white is not only because it's, nice and ghosty, but because in some cultures, I believe Korean, but it's probably other cultures too. White is actually the color of death. That's why in some countries brides don't wear white, they wear like red or yellow, that kind of thing, because white is what is typically worn for funerals, unlike black here in the US. And that was something I've always found that to be really beautiful. I think it's a really good color for death, and I really enjoyed just getting to work with all those nice pastel shades, because it gives it a very both like soft and spooky vibe. I feel like I've repeated that same thing over and over again. I'm sorry. I just got to meet up with my friend who surprised me by bringing Lindsay over, and I haven't seen Lindsay since like July. So it was I'm a little off, but I'm a happy off. I'm a holy crap, didn't expect today to go where it did kind of off. Going in there, doing them leaves, then recentering the picture and starting in on coloring. And the coloring process was actually pretty fast for this. Mostly because all the colors were so similar. I messed around with eye color a bit. I was thinking, oh, actually before I talk about eye color, I wanted to give her like red eyeshadow, just to keep things a little more ominous and also to make her face pop just a little bit more. So I used the airbrush tool for that. And then I ended up giving her pale blue eyes to keep with the monochrome theme while having them still stick out a little bit. Then going in and doing those chrysanthemums in her hair. Were they chrysanthemums? No. I think these were roses. I got a lot of different types of flowers. So yeah, the ones in her hair are roses, and then on her body dress, she has got cherry blossoms and daisies and roses and hydrangeas and chrysanthemums and a couple others that I don't remember the name of. Whatever the weird funky circle ones are, I love those, but I can never remember the name of them. They're funky boys. It's the official scientific name. It's funky boys. And I gave some blue tints and some pink tints just because I wanted things to pop out a little bit more. So there's some blue tints for the hydrangeas, some pink tints for the chrysanthemums. There we go. Or no, those are roses. The chrysanthemum's the other one. The other fluffy one. There's too many flowers, guys. Too many flowers. There's also this guy that I don't remember the name of, with the heart leaves. And then heading in doing the shading. I went with orange initially, but I changed it to a darker red because I liked the way it stood against the skin better. There we go. And then adding a little bit of highlighting and giving her a dark purple background to kind of stand out. And here we see that finished image. I'm really happy with this one, and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that it's kind of a revisit to a prompt that I wasn't happy with beforehand, and so seeing that I have definitely made improvements since starting this series and know how to better execute my ideas is really comforting. And also it's just like she's pretty, and I kind of want to see her when I die. And I'm really happy with her as a character. So I hope you enjoyed. If you want to try this prompt out for not this prompt, well, you can try this prompt, go ahead and try this prompt, but if you want to try this challenge out for yourself, the link to the aesthetic generator is in the link below. And I'm not sure if this is going to take place next episode or if it's going to be a couple episodes later, but I'm planning on trying to find a different character generator prompt, just so we can start getting something a little different, because I feel like I've, kind of gotten into a comfort zone here. I've gotten familiar with these prompts, so I want to kind of mix it up again, challenge myself again. So we're going to see how that happens. If you know any good random character generators that you think would be cool for the videos, please go ahead and send them to me. I'd love all the help in trying to find a good one. And until I see you guys again, I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you make some really cool art. I hope you eat some really good food. I love you. Bye-bye.